Nice. This game supports autosave feature. Yes! We love an autosave. Please don't turn off console when the icon is on display. Nice. Oh, the Grey Ace Chronicles. I'm so excited. This is my first Ace Attorney game on Steam, on stream. Wow, can't read again. Good thing I don't have someone watching me. This should have voice acting in it, so I don't have to do it for you. But you know, we should be great. We should be grand. So let's go. Select an adventure. Ooh, there's multiple. New game. Ooh. Oh, so pretty. Thank you for the 25 bits, Leela. Ooh! Someone got shot. Hope the video is clear for everybody. Oh no! Oh! What great animation. What pretty features we have. The Adventure of the Great Departure, Episode 1. Bang bang, love shot me down, bang bang. 22nd November, 8:43, Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be? Just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Why is it we always involved in some mess? What? Oh, no, nothing. Savior glares. Murderer. Sorry. Look at us! Now we're the victim! My name is 𝕒𝕒𝕤𝕒𝕒𝕒. I don't know how to say that correctly. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. This is back when going to a university was a really big deal and it was really expensive and not everybody can do it and there wasn't programs for it. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying accident. And here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Senpai, save me. Lawyer? Yes, and until that judge is giving his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Look at him and his sword. So hold your tongue. Good lord. Just technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. Excuse you. This man came to my aid. I will have you know that this man is all about saving my life. I'm just saying, he over there just declaring my whole, like, innocence. He don't even know me. Ugh. Save me, love. Save me. Alright, cool. Let's get back to it. I'm so sorry. I was in the mood. I was in the zone. Tips, technicalities. I love him. Me and my sword. Look at him. He has a sword. He was ready to come at me. was ready to come get me. I was like, he was ready to come defend me, and I was ready to be defended. And yet, I still have a better known. I still have. I still seem to better than you on how the court officer should behave. Right? 𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒, however I say my name, because I don't know how to say it, because Lord knows I don't know. Hold on. Let me go with first playthrough. Okay. You know what? I'm with him. I'm with it. Yes. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. We're already flustered. I mean, how could we not be? Look at this handsome devil. He's so hot. I need a sword emo. I'll look for one. For him. Whatever his name is. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, what a name. I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing, just like always. Where is this wind coming from that his tails are just blowing in there? Ah. Though I must say, you've been all over the news these past few days. I mean, there was a gunshot. I would be surprised if I wasn't in the news. Yami University professor murdered in cold blood by a student. Ooh. Did I get a bad grade? Did I fail something? Did I get angry? Did I take it too far? But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me, I didn't do it. I'm sorry I'm giving more voice acting for this. I'm just really excited about this game because this game came out a while ago, but this is its first English release, so it's like amazing. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent, 𝕤𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒. Kazuma Azogi, my best friend, also in his second year at the yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering that's not impressive. That's the concept of lawyers only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have you as a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all of this started. Flashback! Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get a study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, this government elites have to acknowledge my academic achievement and success in court while I carry I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mystery aura blowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. Is he gonna die? Is he like May in the first game and just doesn't make it? Because I'll be really sad. Because he's really attractive. And he's really cute. And he's like super supportive and a great man. If he's gonna die, I will be so sad. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. What up, ACC? Then come with me. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Alright, this is when the Queen was relevant. Am I paused? Am I freaking out? Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, OBS now wants to behave. Okay. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I'll stay and enjoy the place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner. Ah! He makes me flustered. I swear to God, if he dies, I'll be really upset. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Where is this wind that's keeping these coattails going? Asagi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has a personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, or whatever. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there must have been confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Runosuke, I will see you in the courtroom. Thanks, 𝕤𝕒𝕤𝕤. Most of the time, it's usually like, they usually just have weapons. Like, one of the people in Ace Attorney has like a whip. Like, they just have it for some, it's just like a quirk sometimes. It's just part of their design. They may use it to like emphasize what they say, but other than that, I don't think he's actually gonna like kill anyone. This is awkward. If I may? Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Runosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is 𝕒𝕠𝕔𝕚𝕒𝕝. I'm a professor of the forensics medicines at yume University. All these Japanese names are messing up with me today. Professor 𝕒𝕠𝕔𝕚𝕒. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pursuing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Yeah, so what? Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel like you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Asagi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. He's leaving me? However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that the permission will be revoked and never granted again. Wait a minute, so they're depending on him to figure out my case. So not only will I go to jail for murder, but he will lose out on his future? That's some tough stakes. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. Oh, you think I would tell him not to defend me at this point if that was the case? I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. You think? He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has chosen from a larger number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even if it's the most favorable of circumstances. Also because they're basically dicks. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear, I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiars about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll see soon, understand, once proceedings get underway. Yeah, that doesn't make me feel better. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right. So, as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. That's when this happens, you'll answer before anyone else. You must say, "I do." I do. But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Wait, I didn't learn the question! Ah, it would seem our Sir Pickwick's decisions are about to cut short. Tell me the question really quickly, so allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asahiro must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Or, of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? I'm right next to the room! Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. You don't even know if I'm guilty! This is it. If the trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lies ahead, I embarked on an unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, a trial that would decide my destiny. November 22nd, 9 o'clock a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. I forgot that word. Woo! We look nervous. So, this is a courtroom. Woo! I'm about to show you what it's like to work. For those who are unfamiliar with what Ace Attorney is like, I'm about to show you just what it's like to work in one of these cases. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has any more power. I don't much look like the looks of these people sitting in the face. The public gallery. Looks of military and other uniforms are in there. Oof. Where is this fan that he is just flowing beautifully in the wind? The powers that have demanded that this had been a secret trial. Secret trial! A trial that's closed to the ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. Who did we kill? What? But why? It's become clear in time, but for now, you'll need to concentrate, 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤. It's about to begin. Here we go. You ready? The court will now hear the trial of 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤 Nahiro. He is a handsome devil too. Hello. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As in the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request to change of advocate. That is correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is that the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for a final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who is going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... He wants me to defend myself. Okay, I get it. I need to answer the question quickly. What should I do? We're going to answer. Because I get it. He wants us to defend ourselves. Because he literally just said, pretty boy, our best friend, can't be the defense attorney. That's fine. So, let's take on the case. Let's defend ourselves and let's hope that we can get off with proving that we are not a murderer. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I am standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate in his defense. Why do our eyes look like that? We look so bugged out. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I just raised my hand. I would like to inform the court that I, 𝕤𝕒𝕐𝕦𝕒𝕐 will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, 𝕤𝕒𝕐𝕦? Professor 𝕒𝕒𝕐𝕦𝕒 told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No! It's not that, really. It's just that we're on the chance that things don't go well for me. I couldn't bear the reason that you... Yes. I knew that was how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor 𝕒𝕒𝕐𝕦𝕒 shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. There's a lot of innuendos, and I thought it would be with like Phoenix and like Edgeworth, but no. I'm getting those vibes with these two as well. The court hereby recognizes that the defendant desired to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? Make no mistake, counsel. This is merely show that the defendant's innocence is so apparent that he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. It's not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated host heinous crimes indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess you in competence for the task you are undertaking. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let us start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in the case. Well, that's easy enough. I hear his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. Oh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What is it again? 𝕤𝕒𝕐𝕦𝕒𝕐. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All that relevant information for that case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R. If you ever forgotten something, consult that. It's all in there. Like a video game. I just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is a list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to the people instead with R. Ooh, you'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, press B to go back. Oh. So this is the victim, I guess. Um, John H. Wilson. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. I like the title, His Excellency. I want that, Her Excellency. Find the people and press X to present. Okay, so where's X? Him. The victim name was Dr. John H. Wilson. He was a white man. Well, at least you can remember the name of the esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to the yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. Oh, we killed a foreigner! I mean, we've been accused of killing a foreigner! The British Empire is at its present our country's most valuable ally, or foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, you have just signed a newly treating together after lengthy negotiations, and we just killed someone of the British Empire. We are screwed. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigations. Wow. If you don't know what that treaty is, there's a whole history video about it. You should go back to school because they went over this. If not, I ain't gonna go over it. Just know that they shook hands and was like allies. And yet, despite this delicate circumstance, the blood of the Englishman has been spilt on our soil. I know, it's tragic. The two of you undergraduates are the Imperial Yume University. Well, you two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Excuse me, who are you pushing your fan at? Murdering a professor from this very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. The case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. So can we get to it, please? In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. Why? What did I do? I'm just a normal person. So that's why this trial has some unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yeah, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties don't make a difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy the place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. So we were on a date. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. Hello, little spoons. Thank you for following my channel. Welcome, welcome. We're just starting this game and I'm getting used to knowing all these people. So I went over to the professor's table. Yeah. And introduced myself to to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously, that was, he was shot. 𝕒𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? This is a tutorial, by the way. This is how they do the tutorials. Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now! Ah! Okay, here it is. Well, according to the documents, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report. I take it? Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Ah! Thank you for coming by, you lovely, beautiful queen that you are. It's always good to be blessed by your presence. I appreciate you so much. I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. I only speak the truth, my queen. This is so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Look how old all this stuff is. Woof! Homeboy was shot in the heart. And you're to blame. You give love a bad name. You can clearly discern scotch marks around the bullet hole preceded by the powder of explosion. Old school bullet. In other words, you should assume that the victim was shot at a close range. Like, you know, someone standing next to him and just went pow pow. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Oh my god, that's right. They don't know what pictures are. Wow. It's clearly superior to your drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let's start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls the first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. 𝕒𝕠𝕔𝕚𝕒? Yes, clearly you were the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asahugi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in it, hasn't he? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of evidence is rein in that crazy look of the bewilderment and control the cold sweats. If only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Yeah, like how is your headband still moving? I would love to know. Is it AC in here? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is 𝕤𝕤. We're not saying his last name. 𝕤𝕤. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Are you bleeding? Did you cough up blood? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Do you have, 𝕘𝕒𝕤𝕐𝕦𝕐, whatever the T sickness is? It really, really should. As everyone knows, the capital of Southern Eastern Quarter was developed for foreign villagers some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels and to accommodate overseas guests. The grim crime occurring in one of the district's so-called restaurants in 𝕒𝕒𝕤𝕐𝕦𝕐 3 days ago. Understood? Hosonaga-san, will you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? At once, sir. And no pretty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. I'll interject if I want to. Perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day of question. We have very few dinners at that time. Who eats at 2 p.m.? The lunchtime rush was over and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in that place. Do you have tuberculosis? Tuberculosis. Do you have that? You should really go see a doctor. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away cookery and cutlery. Bam! A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining areas to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up the gun that I found laying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. I believe I asked you not to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness' report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. That's to let you know that you can't interrupt. You have to wait until they say something. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. I hope so, because these people are out here trying to accuse me of being a murderer. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man you see here in court today. Will you go to the doctor? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else besides the victim? No. There was no one else at the table there was no one around the table other than the deceased Englishman and the university student. Wait. What did he just say? There was no one else around the table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting beside him at that table. Really? And that's not something that the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about it and I'm interjecting, but still, what should I do? What What should I do? Do we interject? Do we wait and see? Nah. We're gonna choose to interject, and we're going to basically, cause no one's gonna prove me wrong. We're gonna wait. If I get in contempt of court, that's fine. Whatever. If I get penalized, fine. It's my first time playing, but this is wrong. We're gonna interject anyway. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me. What are we gonna do with you? With your blanket disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're a fraud. If you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? You just said what I was, weirdo! But I'm sure of what I saw. Hasanage-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. You cough up blood every couple minutes. What do you know? Maybe you're losing blood to that brain of yours. I don't believe it. Look at you. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Why do you have it? Please have a look if you'd like to. Hello, May. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. But why did you draw this? However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a conspicuous waiter. Thank you. Just saying a quick hi. About to clock out for work. Hope you have a great stream. Thank you, May. I appreciate you stopping by. It's always nice to see a friendly face. Hope you have a good day. Oh, May. Thank you for the 500 bits. You're such a darling. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan to add it to the court. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Can you not die before the case is over? Relax. Something clearly must have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. He looks like he's about to die on the stand. So, the court has now heard the pieces of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on the trial today, supposedly. It would seem that we are looking at a black and white case here. No, we are not. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court will be willing to look at... The court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprisals in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called the waiter in as an unsworn witness in order to examine the details of this case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence of sworn witnesses who are present at the scene of the crime. I just thought you just said there was one person. What do you think I should do, '𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒? What do you mean? '𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒  '𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒 Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Why would you give up? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor 𝕒𝕐𝕦𝕤 said it, so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. Stop being such a baby. As I said before for the outside, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to just throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? No, my dear lover, who's not really my lover. I don't want to do that, but I'm scared. What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? No, I'm not. The battle hasn't even begun yet, Runosuke. Ooh! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out the witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive the evidence really is. Ooh, goodness. Aggressive. Oh my. Indeed. Prosecutor Atsuki, please continue with the proceedings. Very well. You were warned. The young can be so reckless. Tell me about it. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Oh my god. Ew. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution called its next witnesses. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Goodness. Hello! Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Are you supposed to do one at a time? Yes, sir. The Great Nuppin Imperial Army Sergeant Ishiga Nosa reporting for duty, sir. What is with your mustache? Whoa, look at those ears. And that forehead. That face. I found myself employed as a purveyor of fine articles of inquisition for the officers of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade for Runesty, a humble persistence in the second, all these words, of the president of the second district, Kyoryo Kirokuta, at your service. We're gonna call you Kyu. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must have been the diners at the other tables that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea at the most distinct aroma at the establishment of question, always past noon, and not infrequently conserve with interesting parties regarding their cultures, with which I make my business. I don't know why he's French. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. I can't understand a word that I'm reading. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤. He seeks he seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤 because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks like he'd be the seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the preceding moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. Why are you yelling? The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what could only be described as an act of war, sir. Calm down. In that black uniform rode into the curly man over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man is impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange snore during the last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the preceding moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? I've been feeling uncomfortable. Have you ever been accused of murder? I don't think so. If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Like, no duh! Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir! Is that a baby? Standing by ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of most accurate afternoon. What the witnesses saw. I was investigating a regulation beefsteak. I was ingesting a regulated beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with this old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden chore to the military gentleman. Just say you were having steak and he was having tea. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. What is that sound? I observed the enemy's action with my very own eyes. The black uniformed varsity candidate fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. He was shot from the back. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of the mysterious, abscounted precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university candidate, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What on earth are you doing? What times we live in where an English gentleman be assaulted in broad light. Why are you holding a knife? But that's ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is this really true, 𝕤𝕒𝕤𝕤? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. And after I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Ooh. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness statements, or testimonies, there's a clue as to who the criminal was. There is. 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Why are you holding your sword? Why are you so aggressive? Cross-examine? Do it now. As we heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in their testimonies of those witnesses. The defense is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimonies the court has just heard eliminates any vindicate of doubt. This is the worst kind of court. This is what I mean by this is a terrible court. These people just assume, oh yes, he said you're guilty, so you must be guilty. What? No, it's not how court works. In Ace Attorney, this is literally how it goes. They will accuse you of being guilty even when you're not. Did I mess up? What in the name of the what in the name of the emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Kamaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. You can't do that. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can you possibly carry out a cross-examination? I still have a right to do so. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kasume is so commanding. He's so tough. Like, I really hope he lives because he is, like, beyond sexy. Like, tough man in court. Yes, yes, daddy, yes. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Runescape. But I don't even know what I have to do to cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. All the key to doing it is in its evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves that the witness is lying. Woo! Now let's go, Rusuke. Don't let them beat you. Yes, sir. Got it. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Okay. Yes, sir. You got it. I got you. Okay, so what usually this means is that we gotta go through the statements and figure out what they said was wrong. We just have to be like, in the middle of a sentence and be like, this is not true. Cool. It's not then. Okay, they were eating. He was looking at something with this gentleman. All that precise moment the enemy was charged. I observed the enemy actions with my own eyes. The black uniform. Okay, this is where we have to prove it, because he literally just said, that's not the case. So, we need a break? Sure. Horoscope time. Let's see here. Before we prove our case, let's read a horoscope. Excuse me. Here we are. Focus of the day, intuition. I'm reading the horoscope for Aries. Today, your opinion may not coincide with the opinion of other people. Stars suggest to trust your intuition. It will tell you what decision to make. However, you shouldn't push on people. Even if you understand that they are silent about something, they need time to open themselves. If you can't wait, try to arrange the circumstance to make the people want to talk. I'm also going to read today is actually important because there is a moon in Aries today. You are feeling courageous and independent today. The opinions of others do not influence you. You are feeling like the authority of your life today. You make the rules. And let's add something else. Oh, there's also this part. The mind will be most influenced by the planetary position, being that it's Mercury is in Jupiter. In a positive way, though. You'll experience expansion within your mind, and you will find more hope and clarity. Follow your intuition, and it will work out well for you. This aspect will improve your money situation, and you'll find favorable outcomes through the paperwork and written correspondence. So I hope that helped you. Hope that gave you some insight. Alright, so I think we need to present the photograph of the victim. I think so. Oh yeah, because what he said was weird. Like this is the problem. Is it this one? Oh, I have to do this. I forgot, it's X. No problem. It's my job. Look at him sweating. Look at him sweating. He know he lying. He know he capping. Soldier Cappington. But what are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photography print in my mustache, which needs to be done again. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that I have no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Woo! Every time he does it, I get scared. Oh, please. Surely it doesn't require an explanation. It can't be more than plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. A Kazume, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at this photography print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Look at him sweating. Sergeant Isia Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. That black uniformed varsity candidate fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Remember how they said that the shot was from the front? Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my very own military grade eyes, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And the obvious discrepancy here, well, how do you explain it? Is that a baby? What was that? something just popped from the behind his back that he pushed down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be disputable. Until I saw movement from the firearm discharged, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious carnival steak, sir. What? A baby is what I'm saying. The last testimony the court heard was proven beyond any reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Look at him, being in charge, speaking with authority, with absolute, bass in his voice. I mean, I'm doing his voice, but you know what I mean. Just, oof. Yeah. We've been awarded. There's been a complete turnaround in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. Look at him! Look at him! Ugh. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. Look at him holding the baby. The university candidate there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. And all I did was pick it up from off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself? I've already been quite clear. The gunshot interests me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for a treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the horror's 𝕤𝕒𝕔𝕚𝕤, my prize coin. Ew, look at your teeth. On each occasion when I visited that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in a bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, in hopes of meeting a richer diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I profited my hoy treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of the moment, there was no more. Simply vanished. The koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it may have fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded not, for I was concerned only with finding my absurd hoard treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious hoy koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin from himself. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegram this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the victim's testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It could be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your proposition, Prosecutor Achu? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger from the front gate, but he will find a wolf on the back. My witness have further testimonies to make. I'm sure they do. Explain. Upon hearing their statements, it will become undoubtedly clear, abundantly clear, that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally capable defendant, 𝕤𝕒𝕤𝕤. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion about you, doesn't he? He's so chill. Very well, the court invites the victims to test the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegations. Is that clear? As clear as crinkled glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Are we not going to talk about you holding a baby on your back? Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out of your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the 𝕤𝕒𝕤𝕤 family to rise to the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. It seems those straps are a sign of the sergeants being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Tension. Your father's about to squill the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. It's adorable. I just want to... Baby Idol? It's so cute. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. No, it's not. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. This is a new one. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, standing all by himself, but he wasn't. Therefore, no one other than a black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at a table. At his table. At the table. I was just able to get here. Welcome. Hi. How are you? Hydrating. Hold on. Okay. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her. His voice is annoying. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Why would I fantasize about a woman being there? Is the evidence beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone on the time of the incident? The prosecution has the photographic evidence of this fact. Is the photographic print of the scene of the crime console? Indeed. Off the table where the victim was dining, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. It is plain to see that there's only one place set. She could have not ate nothing. Certainly based on the appearance of this print. It would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. She could have just been not eating. This doesn't make any sense. The court will be added the new photography evidence For the record, Ayuchi sounds like the guy who wanted to murder Mulan when she was discovered. Yo, not even holding you. That's dead. Always the first case is like, this has been added to the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It was not impossible for nobody else to solve that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear, I saw a woman with him. It would seem that would be the telegram report to the Great Britain. It would seem that we'll be able to telegram the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies have just been heard. Leave no further room for no doubt. Who runs a court like this? Like, oh yes, they must assume that he did it, so we're just assuming he did it. Yep, he's lying. Yep. Like, that's not how court goes. These are very sensitive political times, as we know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Tsukakachi Achachi, aka the complete dick of this case, will be contributed to the amity of the two great empires is an honor. We are clearly freaking out. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Yunosuke. It is not over yet. Is this his energy? Woo! What? If that's what you say, if what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth, and your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazumi. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be bending at times. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna have to go through it. Even if I saw what's from some but discharge and not the same thing. Yes, the point of the gun was in. But I didn't. I think by himself. I don't have any proof to show that she was there. Oh. What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win. No. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them. What do you mean? You can count on either press or present against each of these witness statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him on it with, was that L? Yes, L. With any luck, you may get more details on which can prove to be credible. Right, I see. The important point, there's no sense in holding back. Why is he attractive? I would like to know this. Can we solve the case on why he's got such daddy energy? Why is he like so my type? I would just like to know why he's so my type. Something about confidence and like his like whole like demeanor. Expect there to be fan art of him in my Discord today. Like, good lord. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witness on it and press them hard. I certainly will. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The prosecutor wasn't alone in the restaurant. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant. I'm sure of it. You're lucky I got that smug or tea sipping emotes on Twitch. But you do have a sipping alien emote. Possibly. I think so. Hold on. Let me check. You should. Oops. Well, I do. Well, then maybe you should upgrade to tier 3. Not Leela using her emotes. Okay, that's not what I'm aiming for. Yeah, with the types of life that we're seeing. This one. This is the one. So this is L, right? You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. Interesting. I didn't know that. As you can... Oh, Sifu. Yeah, I knew the character from Mulan. Bitch made boy. As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel like I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have been caught even a glimpse of this woman. If only there's been more people dining at that time, there's someone else could have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty, but what did you expect? Certainly 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is this, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hold a clinic. Yes, that would appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon at past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it was really no bearing on the case. I wonder... What do you think, 𝕤𝕒𝕠𝕤? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court records as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I? Why not? Every piece of evidence is useful, even if you don't use it. Apparently that was the right answer. If I may ask for the medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be intriguous. Whatever. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. If I want it in there, can you just accept it, please? Oh! Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all of our adventures. See, we are putting it in because Zaddy said it must be a part of the case. I beg your pardon. Are you questioning Kazuma, Daddy? Because I don't think you should. We have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request from the submission of evidence. What he said. Very well. The court will grant this Defense case. The defense request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. I know, man. Young people just do whatever they want. Youngsters do whatever they want and have no concern about anyone else. Hmm. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. That's all we need right now is what we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if it doesn't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. Right, he needs to kneel over because Kazuma said so, and we have to. All hell, Kazuma. Sadie energy away. You can compare. You can conspire to prolong the trial as much as you like, but after the festival. But it's the day after the festival already for you. I'm going to use that fan and shove it somewhere where the sun does not shine. You leave me alone, Opsy. Okay, let's see. Can I go back? We're gonna go all the way back. Okay. 1, 2, 3, within. And then. Blah, 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 blah. Then. Go to the thing again. Excellent work, Rotsuke. We've gleaned some new evidence to grow. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. Look at that smile! Look at that smile! I wouldn't be so sure. He's so sure of himself. Let me see the medical report card for you. Oh, you mean this? Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Look at his smirk! I swear. You'll notice some pieces of evidence, fair magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece of question. Use R. Just rotate it basically. To rotate the evidence in any direction to examine from all angles. By using L to rotate. Oh, because I'm sickums. Also because my legs are like folded. It's supposed to be like my legs are like in the air. So I'm like in the air. But it's cut off because I didn't want to take up the whole screen. But yes, I'm sick, boy. Thighs that can crush all kinds of heads. Ooh, if we use L, we can examine things. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that you may have missed before. If crosshairs start to pulsate, present A to investigate further. Congrats on getting home. Listen, I'm just telling you the truth. My thighs are large and in charge. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at that medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Alright, so let's get a look at this report card. Yeah. Ooh, it's pulsating! But let's move around it a bit. Huh. Hold on. Mm, just imagine me just looking at this report. Just like turning it upside down. Huh. Okay. So it opens. We can open it. But let's look at the front. We just saw something in the front. Okay, so. It says. Look at him with his 3D. Oh my god, he's so attractive. Oh my god. It says, hold a clinic of a medical report. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. Hey, thank you, May, for the 450 bits. Appreciate you so much. And I remember, even though I feel awful already, had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Brr, I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is the clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's get back to looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Okay, so we went with that, so that's not what we're looking for. This is important. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, there would be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? To make you drink horrible tasting medicine? They give you painful injections? And they demand lots of money for you for the privilege when all you did was look at your lowest EPV. You sound like a model patient with a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is a very bitter medicine indeed. I take injections of affection. Oh, affection is definitely needed. I want to give you all kinds of affection, May. I want to show you all the love. I will give you all the love. Hold on. I will send you all of my alien love. For you. Alright, let's see what else we got here. That's not important. Well, let's open it. Ooh, looks like somebody's been going to the hospital quite a while. Let's have a look. There's some kind of medical history. There's an entry for the date the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of a molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Like somebody else should get their tooth removed. But we're not going to talk about that. Perhaps they use laughing gas, the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. It used to be. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. It just numbs the pain. And there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides the water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesia effects has passed. Really? Sounds like the information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card has been updated in the court record. With this new information, the meaning of the one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. So he had a steak, even though he was instructed not to eat. Why are men so hard-headed? I know what statement they want me to look for, but it's not that. Not that one. This one. This is it. This is it. This one. Haha! Hey, smart girl, me. Watching way too many mystery stories to even account for things. Well, I think, what are you, withering lad? Call yourself a lawyer. I wish I could, but the first and foremost here, I'm the accused. 𝕒𝕓𝕠𝕦𝕒𝕤. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstance, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kuzuma. Hi! Welcome, Sayo! If I said your name incorrectly, please correct me. I can see it quite clearly that in the cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. Look at us looking at him. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to behave. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Sayonara. Oh! I just realized that's what it said. Say it with confidence. Say it with the chest. Listen. Kuta-san, because I can't say your name. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, my boy? Comparing what is written on the report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. That's such a weak pounce compared to Kazuma's. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateur drivel. I am cross-examining him. You must want to get punched in the throat. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It is after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that is completely irrelevant. Not true. But that's, remember, Rasuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just makes your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. I'm talking! The witness testimonies the court has heard has been clear and concise. Again, I will shove that whole fan where the sun does not shine. The medical card report has no bearing on the matter at all for the simple reason that there is no one besides the pale-faced pupil who... I didn't even get to finish the sentence. The medical report has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? The outburst has petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What is this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim has been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He has orders to not eat, so what? It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't... Kuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, has just had one of the teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthesia. Oh! Expertly done, partner. What? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. They never said it was his thing. You can clearly see the plate of food on the victim's table. Okay, that doesn't mean it was his. Oh, use your head. That is the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or you can't follow your logic. Oh, he's so impressive. How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in the restaurant case have turned. Oh my god, he's so cheeky and annoying. I can't. It's okay, we're almost done. We're actually ending, so bye, May. Have a good shower and snack. Can we save? Does it auto-save? Yeah, it auto-saves. Cool. Let us save. Oh my god.